I didn't realize that I was codependent. I was almost like offended when my therapist told me. I was like, no, I'm not codependent. Like, I don't need people, like excessive need for approval. I don't feel like that's me. Codependency individuals frequently seek validation from other person. Yes, it is. Never mind. I'm like, that's not me. Yes, it is. So certain situations in my life have caused me to look in the mirror and realize I have validation issues. Because if you knew your worth, there are just certain things you wouldn't deal with. I had a situation like that recently. I was at a show. There was somebody at the show that I met off Instagram. Later on that night, Vina was like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And I was like, yeah, what's up? She was like, and before she even said it, I was like, I know, friend. All right, you guys, what's up? It's your girl, b.simone, and welcome back to another episode of the Let's Try This Again podcast, baby. I am your host. If you are new here, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you are an OG, if you are an active listener, is it active or avid? Both? Avid? Active, avid. Come on now. I'll be knowing my words. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. Yeah, thank you for coming back. I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys leave us a review on Apple, on iHeart, wherever you get your podcast. Hit the 5-star. Give us 5 stars. Leave a review. Write a comment in the description. Play the podcast. Play the YouTube on all the platforms. It helps you guys. If you're in the shower, just hit play, okay? Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And if you're here, that means you did hit play and you are listening. So I thank you guys so much. The LTTA family is growing and we're going to continue to grow, continue to evolve, and continue to do all the things we've been doing. You guys, this topic today, as you can tell by the title, codependency. Oh my gosh. So I didn't realize that I was codependent. I was almost like offended when my therapist told me. I was like, no, I'm not codependent. Like, I don't need people. Like, I'm okay in solitude. I'm okay being alone. I don't ask for much of my friends. Like, I don't need people to do stuff for me. Like, I don't get my joy from other people. I don't need people to be my everything. I don't need people to come to my beck and call. I don't need people to be at every event. Like, I'm not codependent. I am good I'm alone. I'm not lonely. I am in solitude. I'm not in isolation. Like, I don't have to be around people all the time. And this is true. This is very, very true. But once I started looking up codependency and understanding, like, there's 2 parts to it, I'm on the other side of the codependency. So first, I'm going to talk to you guys about what codependency really is and which side I'm on. So I'm going to share this definition with you, and it is so crazy. I want to know which side you guys are on. Here you go, Caleb. So let me give you guys the definition. Codependency is generally described as a relationship dynamic where one person has an excessive emotional or psychological resilience on a partner, friend, or family member, often at the expense of their own needs and well-being. Some signs and behavior of codependency is this. Okay, so there's like 7 steps to codependency, or not 7 steps. Don't quote me on that. There's 7 examples that they give of qualities of behaviors that are codependent. Like, every other one is me. So difficulty setting boundaries, that's me. A codependent person might struggle to say no or set healthy boundaries, often putting the other person's needs above their own. That's me for sure. Excessive need for approval. I don't feel like that's me. Codependency individuals frequently seek validation from other person. Yes, it is. Never mind. I'm like, that's not me. Yes, it is. God is literally dealing with me right now about validation. Talk about that's not me. Oh my God. Maybe not in maybe, yes, I do. I wouldn't say, I don't know. Let me just admit it. I need approval and validation. Oh, Lord. I'm like, do I do this in relationships, though? Excessively? This is definitely me, though. Codependent individuals frequently seek validation from other people and feel a strong need to be needed or appreciated. I would say I'm dealing with validation from people I've been dealing with that, like social media, the internet, of what people think about me. But excessive need for approval, I don't know. There's number 2 is like, I was about to say 50-50. It's like 60-40 for me. I definitely am dealing with validation problems. People pleasing, 100%. They may feel compelled to always make the other person happy, even if it involves personal sacrifices or discomfort, 100%. Low self-worth. Their self-esteem often depends on the other person's approval, and they may define their worth through the relationship. I don't think that's me. Caretaking and rescuing, for sure, me. Codependent often takes on the role of caretaker and feeling responsible for fixing or saving the other person, especially if they have issues like addiction, mental health, or financial struggles. Oh my God. That's me to the T. Feeling guilty or anxious without the other person. That's not me. Codependent people often feel anxious or guilty if they're not constantly available for the other person and worry about being abandoned or rejected. Never mind. That's me for sure. Oh my God. All of these are me. Okay. I don't know why I said I'm every other one, but all of these are me. Fear of conflict. Codependent people usually avoid conflict to keep the peace, as they fear they could lead to rejection or abandonment. Wow. Okay. So look, in a codependent relationship, one person often takes on the role of the caretaker while the other person relies heavily on them for support or to fulfill a void and their needs. While it can feel like intense loyalty or love, codependency is ultimately unhealthy because it creates an imbalance and often prevents each person from growing independently. Oh my God. What? One person often takes on the role of caretaker, where the other person heavily relies on them for support or to fulfill a void in their needs. Which codependent are you? Are you the caretaker, where you're showing up? You don't miss anything. You don't want them to be angry. You don't want to feel rejected. You take care of financially. I got you. Emotionally, I got you. I'm showing up for you. I am trying to save you. I am trying to play God in your life. That's me. That's me 100%. You want to play God. You're trying to fill a void that is unfillable. That is, the goalpost is always going to be moved. I gave you all this financially. Yeah, they're going to be happy for a second. What happens when the next financial problem occurs? Yeah, I was there for you mentally and emotionally. Yeah, they're going to be happy for a second. But what happens when the other mental breakdown occurs? The goalpost always moves because you will never be enough to fill a void that is unfillable by a human that only God and healing and the work can fill. We cannot fill those voids. I am definitely that person. I am the person that wants to save. I am the person that tries to play God in relationships, in business, in romantic relationships, friendships, partnerships. I want to save and help and pull and grab everybody to safety, to shore. I want to pull you to shore. If you're drowning, I want to be the life jacket. If you are sinking, I want to be the boat. That is me. That is the role I play in codependent relationships. Are you that person like me that's the savior, or are you the person that relies so heavily on the other person to fill your void, to fill all your needs, to fill all of your expectations, and you rely so heavily on them to support and fulfill your emotional, your mental, your financial? You just rely on them so heavily to fill the void and the support it needs. So are you the giver or the taker in codependent relationships? I'm the giver. I'm constantly pouring out, and the other person is always relying on me. So which person are you in the codependent relationship? Like I said, I am the person that's trying to do the saving, that's trying to do the helping, that's trying to do the fixing. You can't fix nobody. You can't save nobody. You're not called to do that. You're not God. And everybody don't need fixing. Let them go on their own journey. And you need to go on your own journey as to why you feel like that is your responsibility and you're uncomfortable in situations where that's not happening. I am also, and who helped me realize this was Dr. Bryant in one of our sessions. She was like, you are uncomfortable when other people are uncomfortable. But being healthy and not being codependent means I don't care how you show up. You can come in and be distraught. You can come in and have an attitude. You can come in and be quiet. You can come in and be mean. I am so healthy that I'm not walking on eggshells. I'm not uncomfortable. I'm not anxious. It don't matter how anybody else shows up. I can show up and be healthy, be happy, and be independent no matter how anybody else shows up. And that is healthy. Codependent means, oh my God, they're mad. How do I fix it? I go straight into fixing mode. I go straight into, I have to fix this. I go straight into them being uncomfortable makes me uncomfortable. So I can't sit in this and not be anxious. So are you okay? You want some water? You good? Okay. What's wrong? How do you feel? Oh my, okay. Do you need anything? Oh, okay. Fine. Well, here's $10. Fix it. Oh, mentally, I start affirming. I start praying. I go into fixing mode because I am codependent on everybody around me being happy and being comfortable for me to be comfortable. I am the fixer in the codependent relationships. Are you the fixer or are you the person that seeks the help, that seeks the fulfillment, that seeks the validation, that seeks all the other things for that void to be filled within you? Like I said, like I read in the definition, that is usually the dynamic in codependent relationships. And I know where that comes from. That comes from me being trained at a young age because I had to walk on eggshells in my childhood. There was an adult in my life where I was like, okay, they're mad. I hate it when they're mad. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me sad. It makes me anxious. How do I fix it? Okay, clean the bathroom. Let me clean the bathroom. Let me do this. Let me be quiet. Let me not be loud. Let me fix. Let me fix. Let me fix. Let me be. Let me be. Let me be perfect. So I am reaching this level of being good enough for you so you're not mad at me. So I am validated. So I feel worthy. So I feel like I am a good person because you're good. So that means I'm good. But honestly, neither person is good. And honestly, codependency becomes, what is it called when you own drugs and you be giving people the drug? What are you doing to them? Enabling. Fuck. Thank you. Enabling. Codependency becomes an enabling relationship. It does. Like you're enabling the person. It's just a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. So I wanted to talk about this because when I hear codependency, I'm like, I don't need nobody to fill no void. Yeah, because you're on the other side of it. You are on the other side. You are codependent, Raylan. You are codependent. And I'm getting out of that. Oh, I'm doing so good. I'm doing so good. Baby, somebody got an attitude now. I'm like, oh, you good? Okay, bet. Holler when you good. Holler when you happy. Holler when you ready. If you need me, I'm over here. But let me know when you good. Baby, I'm not doing all that eggshells. I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing all that tippy-toeing in my Jordans. I'm not doing all that. Okay, I am breaking this codependent spirit. Do you hear me? I'm breaking it. So yeah, I had that awakening with Dr. Bryant, and I was like, I'm not codependent. Yes, you are. Lack of boundaries, codependency. Seeking validation, codependency. You need these things to thrive in an environment. And if you don't have these things, you're not thriving. If you don't have the validation, if you feel like some fear of conflict, I hate conflict. I'm still dealing with that I'm still dealing with that as a 34-year-old woman. Conflict doesn't have to be a lash out. Conflict doesn't have to be a fight. Conflict doesn't even have to be an argument. It can be a disagreement. It can mean we don't see eye to eye. Conflict can still be respectful. You can still be kind. You can still say please. You can still say thank you. The issue is having conflict with somebody who gets offended easily, who is not emotionally mature, and now you have conflict with that person and they don't create a safe space for you to have conflict. So when you have it, you feel rejected, or you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like you're a bad person. So now you avoid the conflict, which in the grand scheme of things is going to come up. You can only avoid it for a moment or a situation or a day, maybe a month, maybe a year, only for so long, but it's going to come up because you're not getting to the root of the issue. Codependent relationships are so unhealthy. And in my adult life, I have finally realized, like, yes, I am codependent. And it's a major, major awakening. All right, you guys, really quickly, the LTTA app is coming. Oh my gosh, if you are looking for community, like-minded people who are healing, growing, evolving, and just want to connect in a safe space, plus, y'all already know, exclusive content, extra episodes, bonus BTS content, you guys, get the LTTA app. It's not out yet, but it is launching very, very soon. So if you want to get updates, make sure you go to letstrythisagain.com, sign up for our email listers, put your email in. If you are on YouTube right now, go to the description box, click the link, and don't miss the updates. The LTTA app is going to be a beautiful space for community, like-minded people, and extra exclusive content. Ooh, I can't wait for it to launch. I'm so excited, and you're going to love it. All right, you guys, back to the show. Some things that I have been doing to kind of get out of that and break that cycle and break that curse, that generational curse of codependency, is setting the boundaries. You guys, I know boundary setting is so hard, but the more you practice it, number one, the more you practice it, the easier it gets. It doesn't have to start off with a major boundary. If you say, hey, I am not getting on the phone after 9 p.m. and your team wants to, oh, hey, can we do a Zoom call at 10 p.m.? No, we can't. We can't. I'm going to be off the phone by 9 p.m. this week. So let me know if you guys can do another time. You can send me over. I will be on the phone from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. After 9 p.m., I'm turning my electronics off, and let me know another time that works. The old me, for sure. Don't even think about it. You done broke your own boundary. You done mess up your whole night, your whole day, because you want to be in bed by 9 p.m. You want to relax. You want to wind down. You want to have your nighttime routine. You done threw off your whole schedule and your whole goal because you want to people please and you're scared that it's going to upset somebody. And most of the time, setting a boundary doesn't even make the right people upset. I'm not even going to say most of the time. 100% of the time, setting a boundary doesn't make the right people upset. It makes the people upset that don't like boundaries. And when that happens, it shows you who is really meant to be in your life and who aligns with the person you're trying to become. If me setting a boundary upsets you to the point that it ruins or breaks our relationship, you're not meant to be in my life in this season, and you're not ready to grow. It's unhealthy. You're not ready. So it shows me, when you have that prayer, God, remove people out of my life, remove places out of my life, remove things that don't serve me. It will show you. Set a boundary. Set a boundary. It will really show you who is meant to be in your life in this season with the person you are trying to become. Set boundaries. Also, I've been working with validation, seeking validation. I have been reading so many books on worthiness, validation, what people think about me. I've been Googling it. I've been ChatGPTing it. I've been reading on why am I seeking this so much from other people? Why do I want validation so much? And I'm working so hard on it. Situations happen. Breakups happen. Things happen in life that it's not that situation's fault that you are having insecure validation issues. That situation might have brought it up, but that situation didn't birth it. That situation might have pulled it from under the rug, but that situation didn't birth it. So certain situations in my life have caused me to look in the mirror and realize I have validation issues. I am dealing with self-worth issues, because if you knew your worth, there are just certain things you wouldn't deal with. If you knew who you were, there's just certain things you wouldn't deal with. So validation is a big one for me right now. Why do you care so much about what strangers think about you on the internet, Braylon? Why? Why do you need to be validated so much about what strangers think about you? Do you believe it? I went to D. Ray Davis, phenomenal comic. If you have no idea who he is, you've been living under a rock. Phenomenal legend. He's in Snowfall, done movies, acting. I've been on tour with him. He was on the Martin Lawrence tour with me. Phenomenal comic. I mean, Chicago legend. And I saw his stand-up show recently here in Atlanta, and he was talking about, he had a moment, a little bit in his stand-up show where he was like, people get so angry at what people call them, but you only answer to what you think you are. So there is something inside of you, whether somebody's calling you a broke ass bitch or you ugly you monkey or whatever, like you answer to what you think you are. If somebody says something crazy to you and you know 100% it is not true, it doesn't even move you. What? Like nobody could say anything to me that is just totally left field that I would answer to. At all. But when you start answering to certain things, you start believing certain things. It's like, yeah, you believe that. So now the validation comes because I'm starting to believe what you guys think about me. So to break that validation, to break that seeking, that void of me being filled by validation, I have to know who I am. I have to know the truth of who I am, who God says I am, not who humans say I am, not who the internet says I am, not who blogs say I am, not who the media says I am. Who am I in God's eyes, and who do I know I am? When you know that and you 100% believe it, validation won't be an issue. So I'm dealing with that right now. Boundaries, validation, fear of conflict. Oh my God. People pleasing. Compelled to always make the other person happy, even if it involves personal sacrifices or discomfort. That's so unhealthy. So unhealthy. You're at the person's beck and call. If you don't show up, they're angry. If you don't pull through, they're mad. Like I said, the goalpost is always moved because you can't fill a void that is unfillable by a human. Only God and healing can fill that void. People pleasing. What's another bullet? Caretaking and rescuing. You guys, I talked about this in a few episodes back. God has been dealing with this, with me with this a lot. And I see it a lot in my sister, in our relationship. Me trying to control her to what I think she should be, or how I think she should live, or how I think her life should be. Because I think in my mind, I'm rescuing her, or I'm helping her, or I'm fixing her. Go rescue, help, and fix yourself. And accept people for who they are, where they are. Just because you think there's something wrong with this situation or this person, they could be completely fine. It's their life. Your life doesn't have to align with their life. Their life doesn't have to look like what you think their life should look like. So trying to rescue and pull people that aren't ready to move, that aren't ready to change, that don't want to change, and that don't have to, because they don't have to meet my mark of what success in life should look like either. Meeting people where they are. That has been a big one for me recently. And that breaks codependency, because you stop trying to rescue and caretake and rescue people. You just meet them where they are. Stop trying to change people. I'm going to meet you where you are. This is where you are. I'm going to meet you where you are. Let's connect on the things we connect with. We connect on the conversations, the things we connect on, the things we can bond on. And where we don't, I don't have you in that aspect of my life. We don't connect over here. We don't agree with finances over here. We don't agree with goals, and our values are different right here. I'm not going to try to change your values and make them my values. We're just not going to connect right here. But where we do connect, where we can spend time, we can do that. So one thing also that's been helping me is putting people in a category. I feel like in the past, every single person got the same access to me, always. If you met me, you got the same access to me. You got all of Braylon. I mean, a complete stranger on the street. All of me. Now, who I'm becoming, the woman I'm becoming, breaking the codependency habit, breaking the people-pleasing habit, setting the boundaries, having discernment, and compartmentalizing my relationships. So, yes, meeting somebody and being like, okay, we can do lunch, we can do brunch, we can have a business meeting. You'll never be at my house. Yes, we can hang out. We can have these conversations on business and networking and marketing, but you'll never know my business. Compartmentalizing people and not just cutting people completely off and not just letting people completely in, putting them in categories. And I think that's so healthy to do. I had a situation like that recently. I was at a show and Vina was at this show. And there was somebody at the show that I met off Instagram. And the person came to the show and was around. Instantly in my mind, I was like, wow, like I would never trust her. I would never hang out with her on a personal level. Yeah, we can connect in different ways, but just the way she was speaking, the way she was moving, it was a lot of entitlement. It was a lot of, I could tell she had a jealous spirit. I could tell it was a monitoring spirit. Like, you're here just to look around and monitor what's going on. You're not really here physically supporting me. You're just in the space to be in the space to monitor. My discernment in my spiritual eyes instantly noticed that in her, which I thank God that is growing so rapidly, because the old me would have been like, this my friend. That's not your friend. She don't like you. She wants your life. That's not your friend. But what confirmed that for me, and I was so proud of myself, I'm like, come on, discernment. I've been doing so good, compartmentalizing. Later on that night, Vina was like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And I was like, yeah, what's up? She was like, so-and-so. And before she even said it, I was like, I know, friend. I have put her in a category. She is not my friend. I was so proud of myself for like discerning and understanding. Vina was like, wow, like I am so proud of you. Because you usually be diddly-widdly. You be green and naive. But Vina is very discerning. Her spirit is so discerning. And she brought it up just to tell me, like, hey, watch out for her. Like, I don't think she has the purest intentions when it comes to you and being around you and being in your environment, being in your space and, all around you and in your world when it comes to behind the scenes. And, that she's like, no, that's not somebody for you in this season. But the fact that I realized it, I was so proud of myself. And once again, I didn't cut the girl off completely, but we don't have personal conversations. She's not in my personal life. She's not in my home. She's not in my world. But do we still follow each other on Instagram? Yeah. Like, you can be my Instagram friend. You can't be my best friend, so separating that. So compartmentalizing has helped me so much. You guys, just ask God for discernment, ask him to open your spiritual eyes, and ask him to show you in what ways are you codependent, and try to break those habits, because ultimately codependent relationships are unhealthy. It's unhealthy. So I wanted to do an episode on this, share my knowledge that I've been getting about codependency. Have you experienced codependency? Do you feel like you're codependent? If you are codependent, which side of the relationship are you on? And share that with me. Let's talk about it in the comments. You guys, leave comments, leave reviews, iHeart, audio, YouTube. And thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Like I said, codependency has come up recently for me. So I just wanted to share my experience, my thoughts, and my awakening on codependency, because I never thought that I was codependent, but I 100% am. And I am breaking that. You guys, we're at 815 ratings on Apple Podcasts. So get us to 1,000. Go do some ratings. I am going to read a couple of the reviews. You guys are so sweet. I haven't read these in a while, so I'm excited. This one says, girl, these episodes got me in tears because you are speaking on my life, not wanting to be my siblings' mother because they got one, trying to forgive people who hurt me, having a disconnect with my siblings and not sure where to go from there other than showing up. My parents missed the mark in an important milestone where conversations needed to be had, but they missed it. And I had to learn from other siblings. My God, thank you for creating this podcast. I'm that listener that needs to hear what you have to share. This is so good. Thank you, Akira from Dallas, Texas. We got one more. My girl, I love the way you blend comedy, Christ, authenticity, and growth into a beautiful mosaic. Come on, you better say I'm poetic. To give vision and a voice to the crazy experiences and lessons that we encounter during this life. This pod is super intimate yet professional. I feel like I'm on FaceTime with my homegirl or cousin just chatting it up. Please keep documenting your journey. It's encouraging to me to live and not merely exist. Oh my gosh. Thank you, girl. Her name isn't on here, but thank you so much. You guys, leave a review, leave a comment. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment. Like this, share this. I love you guys so much. And I will see you guys next week on another episode of the Let's Try This Again podcast. Bye.